everyone, and welcome back to the channel and another day of 2A News. This video is part of a big giveaway that I am doing with a company called Pain Safari that has a really awesome product, but more on that and the giveaway later. Trust me though, it is very cool. So whenever I did videos on the corruption and shenanigans over at the NRA, I inevitably got comments asking which groups to support instead. This video is a little different, as it's about another group that you should absolutely not support, as it seems like it's nothing but a scam to try to steal money from gun owners' pockets. The group is a no-compromise group calling themselves the Indiana Firearms Coalition, and they even have a pretty professional-looking .org website. The website says, the Indiana Firearms Coalition is Indiana's no-compromise gun rights organization. We do not believe in trading one right in exchange for others to achieve partial liberty. We fight very hard for 100% firearms liberty for individuals in the state of Indiana. And they claim to be the state's biggest and most powerful gun rights group. The site links to a YouTube channel created in November 2021 that has 126 videos, a lot of shorts, that started posting a year ago. But their About Us section on the website just says TBD. At first glance, nothing really seems to be amiss. Now, Indiana isn't a state that we talk about a lot on this channel, so I looked into their Second Amendment history a little bit. In 2022, Indiana became the 22nd constitutional carry state. In 2023, the legislature approved a bill to prevent the state from investing in ways that would prioritize ESG stuff. So that's your gender, diversity, inclusion, environmental, social justice, crap. This year, the state has already passed two big Second Amendment bills. One ends the 25-year-old Gary v. Glock lawsuit that I did a video on a few months ago, and the other is a privacy bill that stops these special merchant codes that credit companies are trying to impose on the firearms industry. So Indiana is doing pretty good right now. And interestingly enough, this group takes credit for a lot of that. Now, apparently what set off some alarm bells is that this group supposedly sent out a survey to candidates in the primary. And allegedly, none of the candidates, and oddly enough, none of the legislators on Capitol Hill and none of the folks in the other gun rights groups that haunt the State House had ever heard of them. The website claims that they are registered to lobby in Indiana, but there's no record of them with the state, at least according to AmmoLand. AmmoLand also says that the folks behind the group aren't even from Indiana, do not live in Indiana, and are a group of folks called the Dorr Brothers. Now, the Dorr Brothers are an interesting lot, because it turns out that they are the founders and directors of a network of over 24 other organizations that have been linked to other scams across the country. But before I get into all of the crazy rabbit hole details on that, here is the info about that giveaway and today's sponsor. Alright folks, I have partnered with Pain Safari to give one of you lucky viewers a fully customized Chevrolet Silverado Trail Boss Z71. But first, let me tell you all about the Shockwave Torch. In a world that isn't as safe as it used to be, and where police departments all over the country are restricting the how and when they respond to crime, self-defense is more important than ever. Now, guns are the obvious best solution here, but not everyone can or wants to carry a gun for any number of reasons. This innocent-looking and super bright flashlight is called the Shockwave Torch. And let me tell you, it is anything but harmless. I honestly wish that I had one of these in college because it is just awesome. It is bright enough to light up a football field for 100,000 hours, which is useful on its own. But disengage the safety down here, press this button. Whew! Spicy! And it discharges 2 amps of power, a stun that should be brutal enough to make a 350-pound dude think twice about whatever he's doing. It is perfect for moms, daughters, and anyone else who wants or needs a non-lethal option. And as for the giveaway, enter to win this customized truck by clicking on my link down in the description and equip you and your loved ones with a Shockwave Torch. And Pain Safari is hooking you up with a major discount of up to 80% off and extra contest entries when you use my link down below. So do not wait, because this is a limited time offer and the giveaway ends in just a few weeks. So back to today's story, there's even a website dedicated to reporting these alleged scams called DoorBrothersScams.com, and indeed one of the faces featured on the website matches the face in the YouTube videos. Several of the videos are even called whatever, blah 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 blah, with Aaron Doerr. The website about the Doerr scams lists 24 organizations the family claims to run. They are all anti-lockdown, pro-gun, or pro-Trump groups across 11 states from Wisconsin to Florida. For example, and the group that has been written about the most, Minnesota Gun Rights was launched in 2013. Their board of directors was listed as the Doerr Brothers. Articles questioning the group's intentions started as early as 2015. Legislators and pro-gun activists claimed the group did nothing but fundraise and never lobbied a day in its existence. Then, 16 lawmakers sent them a certified letter demanding the group, which they claimed was based out of Iowa, stop fundraising in Minnesota. They even claimed the group was using forged signatures of pro-gun legislators on their fundraising materials. Their apparent pro-2A lobbying efforts included some mail about one election and just a couple of ads on one AM radio station. And their tax documents basically said the same thing. In 2017, the group was featured in an investigative report by ABC9 out of Iowa, different state, because the connection between the two groups was discovered and revealed on the state house floor. The Iowa group, again run by the Doerrs and also claiming to be no compromise, had never called or emailed a single legislator in the state. They also weren't registered with the state, but they posted 10,000 members, $300,000 in donations, and claimed that all of the money went to postage and mail fees, despite never sending any mail other than "donate to us or the state will take your guns away" kind of mail. So all that money went to more fundraising. The group claimed to be the Iowa branch of Minnesota Gun Rights, and that's where the connection was made. This brought up more questions, but it wasn't until 2019 that Fox 9 KMSP in Minnesota noted that Minnesota Gun Rights had its tax-exempt status revoked in 2016. Despite this, they continued to claim to be a nonprofit organization. After being questioned by local news outlets, Ben Doerr admitted that he and his brother Chris hadn't filed paperwork with the IRS. They also weren't registered with the state in order to legally solicit donations from people, but were harassing people for charitable donations anyway. So here they are, not a nonprofit, not a charity, not allowed to ask people for money, and yet they were demanding money while claiming to be a charity and nonprofit. And when this was pointed out, they said, "Fake news!" They had a website claiming to be the state's only no-compromise gun group, asking for donations with membership levels from $50 to $1,000. And at the time, the news station uncovered several organizations on top of the Iowa branch being run by the brothers, all with the same MO. It went as far as the Minnesota GOP putting out a warning on their website about the group. The group was then listed as inactive with the Secretary of State as of 2020, but if you look at all the other organizations, clicking on the other groups listed in this site brings similar results. The North Carolina Firearms Coalition brings up videos found on the other Doerr YouTube channels and a suspended Facebook page. Their website is identical to the Indiana group. Georgia Gun Owners Coalition, same story, board of directors as listed as Patrick Parsons and the Doerr brothers. Their website is again identical to the Indiana website. The YouTube videos on that YouTube are the same ones on the Indiana channel. And the Georgia website claims that they were personally responsible for constitutional carry legislation, even though none of the legislators have heard of them. These sites list of affiliated groups, the same ones on the Doerr Scams website. State after state after state, we have groups with identical websites to that Indiana website. We have groups that aren't registered with their states, groups that never show up and talk to their legislators, never call them, never email them. In some states, they have held a rally or two for fundraising purposes, but then claim credit for the lobbying efforts made by other groups. Now, there's a website called GuideStar that is supposed to show you the list of nonprofit groups registered with the IRS. It doesn't have listings for several of the DOOR groups. Georgia Gun Owners Coalition, for example, nothing. In every instance they've been caught, they have refused to say why their statuses were revoked, claiming it's fake news, and refused to tell anyone how much they're paying themselves from each group. Now, on top of all of that, each of the three brothers claims to be the director of 9 or 10 different lobbying groups across these 11 states, where they all claim to work 70 to 100-hour work weeks for $0 for each of those organizations. Not sure how one person can work 70 or 100 hours a week 9 times a week for 9 different organizations when there isn't that many hours in a week.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Or how they can do it for free. So if they want to add to their revenue stream, I really suggest that they bottle that and sell that. They've been exposed in Ohio, in Wyoming, in Minnesota, in Iowa, and numerous other states where they all claim credit for constitutional carry legislation getting introduced or passed or stand your ground laws. And in every state, the other gun rights groups and legislators say that they have never seen the doors and never spoken to them. In the states where they did have a presence for like a hot minute, they actually lobbied against pro-gun bills, and if the bills passed, they again claimed credit for the passing, even though they acted actively against it. I honestly could have spent hours on this rabbit hole and hours giving you guys info here, but I think you get the point. I will link the website down in the description that lists all of their different groups and all of the associated news articles with every single one of them. There's a lot. So please, I would advise all of you to check that list of organizations, make sure that you are not a member of any of them, and if you are, I would stop my membership right now because, sorry buddy, you are getting got. Hopefully they haven't trapped any of you guys, but I hope that this information is helpful. Please share it around and get it in front of other people so that we can make sure that other gun owners are not giving their hard-earned money to these con artists. So with that, my friends, that is it for this video. Again, please like, share, subscribe if you are new here, ring that notification bell, really drop a comment down below for the algorithm, do all of the things to get this video out. So again, more people see it and can get out of these organizations and stop the Door brothers from this shady craziness. And on that note, as always, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and happy shooting.